Wanted to start by saying welcome everybody. Glad that you're on this call. Today's I think the first of a series of speakers that we have for the hackathon, and we're going to start it off in a really good way, and it's the reasoning behind what we're doing this whole week. So I guess we'll go ahead and start it. I want to do a little bit of housekeeping first and remind everybody that this session is being recorded. So if you do have a question, we have the ability for you to raise your hand electronically, and then what we'll do is we'll just kind of cycle around, based off of who raised their hand first. So today's speaker is one of our own. She works here at Kennesaw State, and she has won numerous state and regional awards and had several national positions because of her work. So she's kind of a big deal. She currently serves as the 2021 chairperson for the Marietta Cobb Housing and Urban Development Continuum of Care board. And so it's my pleasure to introduce you to Marcy Stidum.
Thank you. I'm going to go welcome everybody. I want to appreciate you coming to learn more about CARE. I'm so honored to be a part of this opportunity for the hackathon, and hopefully what I share today will give you a little insight about our students and what we do. I'm going to first start with, as I always like to, is let my students tell their story.
The Ascent Program with CSU Cares aims to connect eligible students in foster care and homelessness with the tools that they need to be successful at KSU. Students can apply to join an on-campus house reserved for those in the Ascent Program. Living in the Ascent community is one of the most affordable on-campus housing options, and housing is available on a 12-month lease, August through July.
Yeah, I like my room. My own room is kind of big. I like the area around here. At Kennesaw campus, it's like so close together to one another, and then there's like actual house.
Before they begin their journey at KSU, Ascend students take part in our Ascend Summer Bridge, a week packed full of academic, professional, and social workshops meant to prepare our Ascend students for college.
I found out about the Ascent program through my school social worker, and she is the one who suggested that I join the program because it was going to kind of make the transition from high school to college a little easier.
Ascend students will participate in year-long academic and professional development workshop series, receive support from KSU Cares case management services, engage in our peer-to-peer professional and personal mentoring program, and take part in cultural and education abroad enrichment activities.
Prior to coming to the Ascent program, I felt very alone because I never really had the opportunity to meet other people that experienced the same hardships as I did. But once I came here, I met other people, and it felt like the world wasn't just totally against me. There are other people that experience the same stuff that I did.
If you need more information about CARE services and what we provide, feel free to visit our website at care.kennesaw.edu.
So that's just a little bit about CARE. That is our Ascend program, and I'll talk about it shortly, but we started that during COVID with the housing and everything, but I'll give a little more detail shortly. So CARE will be 10 years old this year. It started with one student. I met a student August of 2011, and I always say Penelope changed my life. I was in the counseling center as the case leading our case management and outreach initiatives for the counseling center as the associate director, and then just now over time, CARE is all I do. It has, of course, expanded into 4 different programs, But our what we call one of our forward-facing programs is our CSU Cares program. This is where we started, and this is where we support our students who are homeless in foster care. We also do AmeriCorps Vista. We have a Gear Up Georgia grant through the Board of Regents now, and that's for homeless and foster care students throughout the state of Georgia that are in high school. And then we also are the home for emergency assistance, and that's for any KSU student experiencing a financial hardship and needing a lot of support. So you would imagine during COVID, we've had a lot of students through our emergency assistance program as well. But KSU Cares, again, is our flagship program. And most people know us as the home of the pantries. We like to joke now that since COVID, we have 2.5 pantries, one on each campus. And then we have a mini pantry within the Ascend house that you saw in the video. Students, as of next Monday, will be able to start, any KSU student will be able to stop in the pantry twice a month. For years, we've done it. When I inherited the pantry in 2014 from Health Services on campus, it's always been once a month. And so, but now through our partnership with Kroger and the different resources that we've got, even because of this partnership with the Hackathon, Kimberly Clark has come in and given us toilet paper, paper towels. So those kind of donations have increased our capacity to serve. So we are making the move to have our Care Pantry start to serve any KSU student twice a month. But if they receive our case management services, they can come once a day, every day. So case management is our more intensive service. So if you think about pantry, our pantry is our broad service that is open to everyone. We easily serve 500 plus students a year. Case management is for about 175, 200 students on average. And those are students who have reached out and wanted appointment. We have assessed and have deemed that they do qualify for services because they are either homeless, foster care, or food insecure. And then as a result of that, several years ago, we started the temporary housing program. That component is a program that serves any students who is in an emergency shelter need right now. So with those emergency shelter needs, what we have done is we've created where within the university housing, we created the first in America a housing setup where we could do emergency shelter, but they didn't have to go to an outside organization or an outside shelter. They were able to stay with us at KSU and go into our dorms. So we have a 2-bedroom, 1 house on the Kennesaw campus, 2-bedroom, 1 bedroom apartment on Kennesaw campus, and a 2-bedroom, 1 bath on the Marietta campus. We keep those beds pretty full at almost all the time. Fall, we often have to start using hotels because one of the rules that I set when I started CARE was the minimum we can do is to make sure people are safely housed and adequately fed. So we always make sure students know to come to the pantry and get you some food. But we also, if a student says, I don't have a place to sleep tonight, we try to get them into those temporary housing apartments very quickly. So that way that they can stay there and be safely housed. We offer several scholarships. The past 2 years, we've been able to do our scholarships. We have been able to do a free ride scholarship for an incoming freshman. So that's been a wonderful, wonderful opportunity and a blessing to those students. That has been an annual scholarship, so we don't have it endowed yet. But that is the goal. The goal is to have at least be able to gift that to at least one student. But we have several scholarships, so we usually have between 8 to 10 CARE scholarship scholars. And I didn't say the temporary housing, that's through a partnership with American Opportunity Foundation and the Beacon Foundation. Both of them, each of them take one of those apartments and fund them for us each year. So we've been doing that for the past couple of years, year by year. We also have a partnership with Catholic Charities. Catholic Charities provides our public benefits assistance. The public benefits assistance program is for any KSU student, faculty, or staff who would want to see if they qualify for food stamps, if they qualify for Women, Infants, and Children program, which is WIC, Those things are essential to help you get through the tough times. They are great tools to use in a temporary fashion to help you get through the rough times until you get financially stable and settled. We have a lot of new rules now with the Farm Bill and food stamps for students who qualify for SNAP. So with that said, a lot of our federal work study students now should much easier qualify for these resources than they have in the past. They've removed the work requirement. So if you qualify for federal work study, typically before COVID, you would have to make sure you had federal work study position and worked 20 hours. But if all the federal work study positions are full on your campus, then you don't have the chance to get that job and get that added benefit. So now with that removed, students, whether they have federal work study job, actively a federal work study job or not, still qualify and still are eligible to get that just because of their financial circumstance, which is a great thing. Also, during the summer, they won't get pulled off of their food stamps or SNAP benefits because they may not be taking classes, because they might be, doing like a lot of people do, work extra hours so they can save up some different money. So the Ascent program. So our Ascent program, we love that program. We're learning a lot with our students, and as we talked about in the video, that has a housing component. That is a long-term housing component. So unlike our temporary housing, we do that on 14-day cycles. Our average bed days is typically around 23 days, so we do have a way to extend it. But the Ascend program is where these students are in a lease for that time in our house with us. Everybody in our Ascend program cannot live in the house. We only have 12 beds, but everybody can have a choice to live in that house or live different places on campus. The benefit of living in the house is that we provide a study space. We've just got laptops donated, and so that way they can be able to have access to laptops, because technology, the digital divide is a huge issue for us with our students. We're constantly asking or seeking people to donate or refurbish to give us laptops for our students. Also, like I said, that half pantry, that mini pantry is there. So we keep it stocked, and then they can make special requests. One of our students who was in the video, he has what he says is an award-winning recipe for pork chops. So we've had some pork chops bought a couple of times. But then also, with the Ascend program, living in a house, they have that communal living, that support, the different things that they can do to support each other and have that family. I always get tears in my eyes when I think about the first night we did it in August, and the students started saying, well, we're ready to go home, because we were somewhere else on the Marietta campus doing activity, and they said, well, we're ready to go home. And it was just such a touching thing to hear students already say that they felt like it was home, and now they call each other family. That's what we wanted to bring family to people who don't have family. Many times we are their family. They call me auntie, they call me mom. We are their family. Most of our students, because of being homeless or foster care, they don't have anywhere else to go. They live with us 24/7 in this house. And so we make sure that we have Christmas events. We put up a Christmas tree. We just had our Valentine's Day party. We're making plans for spring, we had all the plans for spring break. They don't go home. This is their home. And so we try to make plans around that. So just to let you know what we've gone through this year, pre-COVID, we did everything in person. We had no limit on our shoppers. We didn't have that much refrigerator space because our space was much smaller. But we grew from a small closet style pantry. We were in a walk-in closet to what we would see what we would call a mid-size pantry. So we were really happy with that. And we had a lot of weekly in-person volunteering from our students. Post-COVID, we've completely changed our model, or I would like to say expanded and elevated our model. So we are offering high flex case management appointments, so students can choose they want to be seen in person or do they want to see virtually? So that high flex model will go into full force first day of classes in August, and we're going to try different things out this summer. But we also have virtual pantry shopping, so they can make their appointments virtually online. They can select food, and if they need to, especially for our parents or our grad students, if they can't pick it up during the time, we will get those items that they select virtually to the postal service boxes on campus. And the students can pick their items up from their Amazon boxes in the student centers on both campus. Or they can come in and shop. Most of our students love to shop, but one thing I will say now, we have limited shopping. We're only letting one person in at a time. That seems to be working well, and it's been very respectful. So we're constantly looking at this summer, is that when we're going to try maybe do 2, maybe 3, see how that feels, because we just want to make sure we ensure everybody's safety. And then also what we've been able to do because of our partnership from Kroger, we've been able to expand our freezer space and our refrigeration. So now we have double wide freezers in both pantry as well as refrigerators in both pantries. So that's been a wonderful thing. And then we finally have figured out how to have volunteering during COVID. A lot of nonprofits really struggle with that. How do we do that? Thankfully, being at a university, I have a lot of access to technology. A lot of nonprofits do not. So it has been really nice to figure out how we can do event-based volunteering. We just did one last week. It went well. It was actually at the house. We're going to do another one on the 2nd of April. But we're also figuring out how people can do more things in the community and just bring the items into us, and then we receive them and put them on the shelves. So just really challenging ourselves, trying to figure out how to do these different things. And because this is, this hackathon is about doing social good, I wanted to kind of highlight some of the things we've learned and done when it comes to volunteering with us. So we've got Kroger Community Awards. Coke has the reverse vending machines across campus. We give people a chance to adopt our students so they can adopt their rent, their meal, their move-in wishes. So when they move in this fall, all those kids we have about 16 students right now who are in high school that all over the state, different states, who want to come to KSU and find out about our program. And so they're gotten connected to our program. So we're helping them through their admissions process. 90 to 98% of our students who come in, their FAFSA and their application is completely wrong, completely messed up. They don't have addresses all the time. So we walk them through that process and be their person to help make it sure it's kind of that warm handshake from high school to college. But a part of that, we get their their wishes adopted. So socks, toothpaste, teddy bears, you wouldn't imagine all the things that we get asked for. Pillows are very common. Also, holiday wishes is where all of our students, our case management students, as well as our Ascent students can submit their Santa Claus wish, basically. And so they love it, and it's a way to get something you want and just the nice and the fun stuff, not always what you need. That's a really different way of thinking when you always are focused on what you need, and somebody just say, just tell me what you want. It's an honor, it's a privilege to have that chance to do that. And then also we figured out how people could donate to the pantry. During COVID, because of Kroger, we were moved into the student center to a much larger and expanded space. And now we're by the docks. And so people can pull up by the loading docks. So I was very excited to do that. Didn't know COVID was a good reason for that. But COVID became a great reason for that because it's really nice to be able to say, just pull into the docks, we'll pull out, we'll get your stuff. We've been running up and down the hills of Kennesaw campus for years, getting food and toting stuff from different places. So it's really nice to have the docks right beside us. In the more yellow golden area is our community volunteers, Ascend mentors. If anybody in the community ever wants to be a community volunteer or an Ascend mentor, we now do a virtual training because we want to make sure people understand how it is to be different, how different it is to be around a special population like this. Also to make sure that we do background checks and different things of that nature. And then if someone wants to be that Ascend mentor, we look to our community volunteers first. Those are the persons we're going to look to who have at least shown up to events, maybe had a face and we are comfortable with them, our students comfortable. Those are the people who we're going to encourage to be our Ascend mentors and to be able to be that person for them, hopefully to, through, and beyond KSU. That's one thing that I had when I was a first generation college student. I have a mentor. She's still my mentor to this day. And it's been 20 something years. But I want that for my students. They want family. They need family. They crave family. So we're trying to give them that sense of family once they get to and through KSU and go far, far beyond and achieve great things. So one thing I wanted to share is how you can give to CARE. This again is where you can go give different donations, see what ways mean something to you. One thing I will tell you from a nonprofit perspective, we live and thrive from donations, but donations, to us could be a variety of things. One of our happiest days this year was when Kimberly Clark gave us two pallets of toilet paper. But then also we love it when we have a fierce canasta group not too far from here, and those ladies will do what they call a noodle drive for us, and they'll get us noodles and pasta sauce. Those kind of things are very meaningful to us, just as well as the big donations, because it all adds up. It all adds up to making a difference in our students' lives. So I wanted to first see if anybody had any questions or comments. Okay. All right. So what I'll do is also share a little bit more about CARE and the different things that we do. But I stopped sharing my screen just in case we had any questions. And then I'm gonna ask Sarah to also share if she has all our information on social media. We're highly active on social media. And that's because that's the best way to get a hold of our students and to be able to connect with our students. We want to make sure our students have a way to get information at any time. Sarah does a great job of making sure our students at KSU, when they have questions or concerns, they will reach out to us through social media. And so we do a great job of responding. So, like I said, we have different programs throughout. These are our 4 different programs. Like I said, Gear Up Georgia is the one for homeless, high school, and foster care students. We serve 8 different counties, and I think I mentioned before, there's a partnership with Board of Regents. Our KSU Vista Network, for anyone that's connected to KSU, this is a great opportunity for your students to be a part of the change and help impact poverty on our campus. So this summer we'll have 15 Vista Summer Associate Vistas. And so we have a sign up here. They can always come to our page and sign up. Sarah is going to host that this week and next week. And those sessions are to let them know how they become AmeriCorps Vista. Our Vistas are important to us. Again, this is another way to volunteer. But the benefit for our undergraduate students is that this summer they can work for 10 weeks and they will get a stipend that they get paid a biweekly stipend plus an educational stipend at the end that they can use to pay back any student loan debt and or tuition. And that stipend is usually between $1,500 to $2,000, and biweekly they get paid a little more than $500 during that 10 weeks. And then also we have 1-year vistas. We have 10 of those positions, and those are usually our graduate level students and or students who have graduated from different colleges and are serving as a gap year or using it as an opportunity to better their application for law school, medical school. Also, a lot of students have used it for if they're trying to go into the military. Actually, Sarah, who's putting things in our chat, she is one of our AmeriCorps Vistas. and getting ready to go to law school. And then our emergency assistance program, I want to share that page. This is our page. We keep it very clean and very basic because we have a lot of students where you just want to keep it clean because there's things, I call it crisis blindness. We want to make sure that when they have a question for us, they know to click that button, come down here, and then they fill out this form that we've designed over the years that asks the questions that need to be asked so we know what students need help. Again, this is for any KSU student, and this is for to help them get through a very difficult financial difficulty. Before COVID, we had about 80 students for 1 year. Since COVID, we're getting close to 700 for the past year. So it's gotten its wings. So we get 2 to 3 student requests a day. And then when we go back, you go back. This is our main page. Just want to show you, we try to keep it again very simple. We want our for the past year. So it's gotten its wings. So we get 2 to 3 student requests a day. And then when we go back, you go back. This is our main page. Just want to show you, we try to keep it again very simple. We want our students to know what they can access and where they can go. So, and then also if anybody is on the phone that is connected to KSU, this is how you can refer a student with different information. And then it's also showing how we help our faculty and staff at KSU as well. All right. Well, I never try to belabor. So I'm going to unshare and open it up to any questions. Thank you, Jeff. He said he's jumping off.
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm just about to jump off, but great presentation. And thank you and your team for everything that you've done for our students. It's just wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Miss Marcy, this is Sanjosh. How are you?
Fine. I see you again.
See you again. As Dr. Chastain said, I know you all do a great job. I've been following. I think one of the questions I want to ask is, during the pandemic, what is the biggest challenge that you faced as a director? How are you able to address that? And what is the biggest challenge students did face during the pandemic?
Oh, that's a great question. For me, I think my biggest challenge was being able to keep up the momentum. March 13th, from that day to probably early April, May, somewhere between April, May, we worked on Carrie, who is my program manager, and I, and we're the only 2 full-time staff and plus a student assistant. So again, our AmeriCorps Vistas, our federal work study students, our 1 student assistant, they keep us afloat. But she and I worked probably 7 days a week. We would always check in with each other on Sunday. We usually had a lot going on Monday through Saturday. And then on Sunday, we would just check in with each other and go do we see anybody else requesting for help? And then what did we learn? I always go, what did we learn and what do we need to change? So it was hard to keep up the momentum because you were very tired sitting at your desk. Sitting at your desk at home, but constantly working. And I think the hardest thing is seeing how all the money that we had raised at one point in time, especially on the emergency assistance side, has just really dwindled down. And so it's the hardest is that there's some students who we've had to say no to because we just didn't have the resources, or you have these really hard choices to make. And then I will have to say the international students have put me in tears many a days. COVID had, from a student perspective, COVID has ravaged that community. It's very hard to support them. Not all the dollars apply to them. You got to know what their visas are. And then so we've had several students who have gone home. One student, I don't know how he amassed the money to be able to stay here this semester, but he figured it out. But there's not always a safe space to go home to. So we have one student who graduates this semester, and we've put him in our temporary apartment, and we're just like, you could just stay there for a while. We're fine. Because that was the line. He was able to stay but couldn't afford the housing. So to sit with students and to know their stories, know their pain, that has been the hardest thing this year as a director, but then also for those international students where there's not as much support for. But then I think from the students' perspective, it was, once the pandemic hit, the loneliness, the fear. And several of our students have said, because we immediately had our interns email them and came up with a statement and said, this is what we're doing. But the first line was, we're still open. This is what we're doing. And the students appreciated it. We kept meeting with them. Thankfully, we were already on Microsoft Teams, and we just went all in. And just, that's what we did. But the first thing we said was, we're still open. And one student, I'll never forget her saying, that was the biggest piece, to know I could still get food and I could still talk to my case manager. We figured it out. So yeah, that was the biggest thing. And thank you, Christy, for your kind comment. We greatly appreciate it. Did I see any other questions?
Thank you so much, Miss Marcy. As I always say, like, please keep up the good work. And I know it's not a question, but how are you doing? Maybe I should ask. Like, I'm sure it's overwhelming to ask. Like, I'm sure like you didn't have time to process that, but maybe like hopefully one day soon you'll get some break. So thank you.
Thank you. Well, it's getting much. It's calming down. It's getting much better. So that's the nice thing. Well, unless somebody has another question, I was going to show our donation page just to show how we try to make it simple. You know, anyone on this phone can join our email group. I try to get out a newsletter. We're moving it to bi-monthly because we don't want to overwhelm our volunteers. Our volunteers are going to get something monthly, but our email group will get an email from me bi-monthly. So we just did that. But definitely sign up and you'll be able to get the April-May edition, which will be the one that will highlight those wishes I was talking about. We do them through Amazon. And it's not because we have a partnership with Amazon, would love it though. But we utilize Amazon's wish, how they have and they've improved it over COVID. It's been really cool to watch them improve it. And it's a great way for people to either, one, see what our students need and their sizes and colors and preferences, or just click the button, order what you would like, and then you could, what you would like to give to the student or contribute, because you can also contribute to students. And then that information can go straight, then that gift will go straight to our campus receiving and distribution, and they bring it over to us. So we love when we get the Amazon box days. Also, you can give to our students. That's, you know, faculty and staff can give directly, or have it withdrawn from your account, your check, like I do each month. But then there's also the Care Pantry donations. That's different ways to adopt our students. Directions on how to do the Crow rewards, how to do the reverse vending. And then, of course, our student volunteers and our community training. Clothing and shoes we do not collect, but we do partner with our campus partner, Owl Swaps, which is in the Radau College. And that's how we get all of our clothing for our students. And that's all about CARE. And then Sarah has been really sweet to put in our different links for anyone to click or look at to see what donations they would like to give or how you would like to partner with CARE. Y'all are a quiet bunch. Okay, Dawn, I'm gonna throw it to you.
Okay, again, thank you, Marcy, and everyone over in CSU Cares. You guys do such a tremendous job. Great presentation. Thank you for sharing and all the hard work you do and continue to do for our students and future students. It does kind of bring you to tears. My heart goes out to all our students in need. So really great work. And I was an AmeriCorps Vista volunteer once upon a time, not for CSU Cares, but Anyway, just you know, great experience, and again, hats off to you guys for doing such a tremendous job. And we thank you for partnering with us through the hackathon. And you know, we are so pleased and just full of pride to be able to give you, you know, 50% of the sponsorship funds and gifts that were given to us, donated to you guys to help continue the great work. And I know that it really makes an impact to our students as well, knowing that while they're working on the hackathon, that they're also giving back to their peers in their own community and helping that cause. So really, really tremendous work, and thank you so much. I don't know if we have anything else, Adriana, or are we ready to wrap up?
We are ready to wrap up.
Okay, well, again, thank you so much. We'll have this video. It's been recorded, so we will make this available out on our YouTube channel. And we will see you guys at the award ceremony on Friday, and look forward to seeing you then. Thank you again so much.
Thank you.